So you finally made the decision that you're ready to jump in as an appointment setter or closer, but you don't know where to begin in terms of your search for a position. Well, in this video, we're going to cover not only the top 3 niches or industries that you want to consider before jumping in, but we're also going to cover the industries you should not jump into. Literally, don't touch them with a 100-foot pole. All that coming up in today's video.
Welcome to the Remote Closing Academy.
So it's come to my attention that over the last couple of weeks, I've confused people with the word offer. So let me break down what that is really quickly. All that is just think of it as a thing that you're offering to the potential client on the other end of a phone call. And guys, there is literally so much opportunity out there. One of the biggest recommendations that I give is keep your mind open, and pretty much anything that you're personally interested in is going to be available in terms of something that you can go out there and be an appointment setter or a closer for. So just to kind of break this down for you, think of it this way, right? If we look at the types of offers, I'm just going to use weight loss, for example, just because I actually recently joined a coaching program where I'm learning just the different nutrition and stuff like that of how to lose weight. So of course we have something like weight loss, right? A weight loss course. But this is also going to be broken down into different sub niches or subcategories as well. So there could be weight loss, but there could also be, let's see, weight loss for dads, right? There could be coaches specifically for weight loss for moms. There could be courses and, programs around weight loss for entrepreneur. I'm not going to try to spell the whole thing, but you get it, entrepreneur. So no matter what you're interested in, whether it's this, investing, real estate, making money online, it doesn't matter what it is. Heck, even if you're interested in sneakers, I'm sure there's a course out there that teaches people how to buy and flip sneakers on the internet. Actually, I know there is. Now, as we jump into the iPad here, make sure you stay to the end of this video because I'm going to break down probably one of the most important tips as well that I would give to you to make sure that you don't miss out on the right opportunity. Because if you don't, you could be wasting a lot of time, money, and resources trying to fumble around and trying to find the right one and picking the right one that's on this list. So let's jump into this. So the 3 most popular niches or industries that we're going to talk about are going to be coaching, consulting, the agency space, as well as business opportunity. And the way that we have it broken down over here is audience, type of sale, and average offer. And so basically the average offer that you're going to be selling and the price point for that. Now we're going to break each and every one of these as we go down the line. So let's go ahead and break down audience first off. So audience for coaches and consultants is going to be actually a mixture of 2. So the way we're going to break it down is going to be B2C or B2B, and then B2C. So B2B is business to business, B2C is business to consumer. So that's the person that you're selling to. With coaching and consulting, it's in its kind of own realm that it actually has both of them. Because with coaching or consulting, you could be coaching and consulting, someone on how to lose weight, right? That could be a business, B2C, or you could be coaching that offer could be coaching another business on how to generate more leads, how they can, hire people, whatever it may be. So when it comes to the audience, you're going to be looking at B2B and B2C that's in there. And I'll explain why audience is important to know here in just a second after I go through agency. So with agency, on the other hand, this one is going to more often than not, right? I'm saying averages across the board is with this one, it's mostly going to be B2B. And when I say agency, I'm talking about, let's say, lead generation agencies. Let's say there's a business that is helping other real estate agents or a business helping other gym studios generate more leads and make more money, right? That is going to be an agency, whether it's a monthly service or, something where they're implementing their own system into that gym business, for example. It is going to be 99% of the time, it is going to be B2B. And then for business opportunity, this one could range. There could be kind of a mixture in there, but with business opportunity, it's kind of within the name, right? If someone is jumping into a business opportunity, they probably don't have a business already. So it's mostly going to be B2C. So why is it important to understand if it's B2B versus B2C? The reason that it's important is because whenever you're going for a B2B type of business or an offer to sell, is you are going to more than likely want to have at least some business acumen, right? Understand how business works. The reason being is, let's say you are a coach or consultant teaching other businesses how to get more business. If you weren't a business before, or you don't have experience with that business realm, it will become very difficult for you to get behind the product and actually sell it, right? A huge part of actually getting products in front of other people and selling it is having the conviction and the confidence that the offer that you're selling is going to actually help them. But if you've never been in that situation yourself, it's just a lot more difficult to actually sell that to the end consumer. Now, this is the first thing that popped into my head in terms of explaining this, but I would almost look at B2C as kind of like entry level or beginner industries, because if someone's looking to start a business and you haven't had a business before, that's fine, because you're just selling them around the methodologies around why they should jump into that specific business opportunity. So I would say, B2C type offers, you'll want to clarify that with the people that you're talking to. If it's coaching, it's consulting, you'll just want to get some clarity there. And then you can start in some of the more beginner industries. So next up on the list is type of sale. So this is interesting because the type of sale is actually going to a lot of times be dictated where the audience is coming from. So a really easy rule of thumb, again, not 100% of the time, but B2B sales a lot of times will be logistical sales, and B2C sales will be more emotional. And I'll break down exactly what that means here in a second. And we'll actually work backwards because I think it'll make more sense, because coaching and consulting, it's going to be a little mixture of both. So a business opportunity, we're looking at more of an emotional type sale. So think about this. There's two types of pain that someone is going to really be suffering from on a sales call, right? It's either going to be an unfulfilled desire, or it is going to be something that they are running away from, right? A need or an unfulfilled desire. So with business opportunity, the reason that someone would be looking to jump into a business, right? Let's say they want to make more money than their 9-to-5 job, right? They're probably running away from the fact that they're either not making enough money or they just don't like where they're currently working. So they're trying to run away from not having money or run away from the current job. So whenever you get down to the closing conversation as a remote closer, is you're not necessarily selling like, hey, this is this thing that is, this is the best thing since sliced bread and whatever, is yeah, that's important, but you're also selling, hey, you want to buy this thing because you don't want to be stuck in a job for the rest of your life. You don't want to not be making the money that you want. You don't want to not be able to bring your loved ones on, extra vacations, whatever it is. So you're more selling around the emotions as opposed to logistically, how does that thing actually work, right? What are the modules or what are the videos, that type of thing. So when we look at the agency side, this is definitely going to be more of, I'm just going to put logic, but more logistical sales. Because if a business is already, doing, let's say they're doing $100,000 a month. If there's an agency coming in to work with them, they're not so worried about, oh my gosh, can I pay my bills next month, right? They're more worried about the unfulfilled desire type of pain. They're worried about, okay, how do I go from $100,000 a month to $1 million a month, right? And that's where, because they have the money, they have the budget, they have the resources to invest into that service or agency, the emotion isn't going to play in as much. Now, you can make the argument, there's a book out there by, I think it's, Jordan Belfort or Grant Cardone, is they say that people always make a decision based on emotion and then justify with logic. I think there is some emotion in there, but even seeing a lot of businesses that we've personally worked with is it's not that they don't have the money, it's just you have to sell the idea that this is going to actually be the thing that gets them to the end goal. And that basically breaks down our entire sales script of, making sure that you are the bridge from point A to point B. But when it all boils it down to it, a lot of times the agency sales would be more logistical. So jumping into coaching and consulting, we kind of already talked about this, but this is going to be a mixture of logic and emotional. So of course, if the coaching business is coaching other businesses, they're going to be more logistical a lot of the times. And if the coaching business is coaching other people, then it's safe to say that the sale is going to be a little bit more towards the emotional side. A lot of that is going to be with, do they have the investment already? Because if they have the money, then a lot of times they're going to move forward because they know that that is going to be the thing that actually helps them reach their goal. So last thing on the list here, we have the average offer price. So why is this important? Because as a closer or an appointment setter, you are going to make either 3% on average or 10% on average based on if you're a setter or a closer, based on the amount of money that is bringing in. There is some differences when it comes to the agency side, but we'll break that down here in a second. So with coaching and consulting, keeping in mind, and we're going to just make it kind of broad here. If we're talking business to business or some B2C type stuff, assuming that they probably already have an investment, it is going to range anywhere from, I'd say on the minimum side, about $5,000 all the way upwards. We can say $50,000, $100,000, but I'd say on average about $50,000 for each of those, of the products that are being sold there. For example, our B2B offer is $68,000. That's for an entire year of coaching, different events, and I won't break down every single part of it, but it is a $68,000 offer. So anytime a closer closes one of those, they're making $6,800 for one sale, right? So obviously, as you're doing more sales and multiple every single month, the commissions start stacking up when you are selling on a higher offer. Obviously, in selling the higher offers there's going to be a lot more experience that's involved. I mean, that's how everything is, right? If you go to a brain surgeon, you're going to school for 15, 20 years, as opposed to, a general practitioner, they only go for, let's say 4 years. So you just kind of have to weigh the different options there. Start a little bit lower, but then know that you can grow as you are, becoming better. So we're talking about the agency side of things. Is this going to be very dependent per business? But I would say on average, you're going to look at anywhere from, we'll say $1,000 a month upwards of, $10,000 plus a month. So there's some, depending on the level that's going up, they could be $20,000 a month, $30,000 a month, whatever it may be. Now, the cool part about the agency side of things is it is usually a recurring payment. Now, it's not going to be, most businesses won't give it to you like the lifetime of the client, but some of them do. So, that's a really good question to ask on some of your conversations. But, let's just say the offer is $4K per month, right? And you sell, a couple of those. Every time you sell something for $4K, let's say you're making 10% on that, right? So 10% of that is going to be $400. And then $400 is coming at you every single month for a certain amount of contract length. So for example, let's say the company that you're working with, they bring them on for 3-month contracts, right? What's going to happen is they are going to then pay, 4 times 3. So for 8, 12, right? 12,000 is the company what they're paying. And then you're going to make 400 times 3, right? Over those 3 months. So you're getting paid $400 a month from just closing in that first month. So it's a little bit of a compound effect that happens. Now, again, you're not going to get paid through, for the end of time as long as they're staying with you. But, if their initial contract is 3 months, you're going to get paid that, for $1,200. And then, that's over a 3-month period. And the last one on here is going to be more business opportunity. So remember, as we talked about, because this is more B2C, right? Business to consumer, is I would say you're going to look at anywhere from, I'd say about 1K, 1,000 to about 10,000. I very rarely have seen business opportunity, biz op, otherwise known as that. I've never really seen them over 10,000. Some of them are, but whenever you pass that, it's usually venturing more into like this coaching and consulting, let's say for like real estate investing or, crypto or whatever it may be. So, but when it comes to like a B2C true business opportunity, biz op offer, you're usually going to be in about the 1,000 to 10,000 range to jump into that specific product. So I know I've mentioned this multiple times in this video, but just keep in mind, these are all averages. This is based on what I've seen after doing research and helping a ton of people within our programs do a ton of research around this stuff. So use this as a baseline, but also do your initial research and ask the questions when you're on your own interviews to become appointment setters or closers. Now, at the beginning of the video, I told you if you stayed to the end, I was going to give you the industries that you shouldn't go after. And, there's some companies that might not work this way, but I'd say the general majority, I just wouldn't touch with a 100-foot pole, especially when you have these 100% remote opportunities. Really, all it's going to be is older school industries like car sales, like solar sales, like insurance, like real estate, like mortgage. Now that there is more remote opportunities, especially within the solar sales world, there'll be a lot of people that come to you and say, hey, you can work as a remote solar salesperson or a remote solar appointment setter. But the thing is for those industries specifically, they understand that their most money is made in actual, like in real life conversations, whether it's the appointment setters actually knocking on doors or, the closers actually physically going into the homes and selling them a solar panel, for example. Just be very careful with those because they will try to get you in and say, yeah, this is a remote position. But in order to get started or in order to get to that point where you're remote, you do have to do some time in the actual office itself. So I wouldn't touch any of the older school opportunities. Real estate's another good example. A lot of brokerages are trying to become more cloud-based. All that really means is like their services are done virtually, but you as like a salesperson, you as a real estate agent, a lot of times are gonna have to go in there. So older school industries, just don't touch with them. Stick with the online education industry. There's so many different companies out there, so many different opportunities. And that leads me to one of my last tips here of, making sure that you don't spend a bunch of time and money and resources on just stuff that isn't gonna work out for you is I 1,000,000,000% recommend that you do your research and you pick an industry and within one of these niches that you are actually either interested in or have some sort of just knowledge in general. If you go after something because, it's like a lot of money and you could be making a good commission, I promise you, after you've made a certain amount of money, even though it might be a good position, it's not going to get you out of bed every single day. And for the longevity and to stay away from the dreaded burnout that so many different salespeople actually face, is the easiest way to go down that burnout hill is to wake up every single day and not be passionate and excited about what you're doing. And I think back to what we talked about earlier in terms of conviction, I think this will definitely help you out a ton, because when you've actually walked the steps of the ideal client that's coming through, and you can talk to the pain points, you can talk to the desires, and you can say, hey, John, I totally understand where you're coming from because I was in your exact spot, right? When you can really just use those personal stories and personal anecdotes to really drive the point home for them, it's going to make it so much easier for not only for them to trust you, but also you to trust yourself and trust the offer and know that it's possible to get out of their situation into their desired situation if they just take the step-by-step action plan to make sure that they're seeing the success that they're looking for. So speaking about offers, now that you have this chart to go off of and know some of the pros, some of the cons, and really what to look for, check out this video that I put on screen now. It's going to bring you through the step-by-step process of where to find these opportunities, how to apply for them, the 1-minute video that if you don't do, it's going to make your job a million times easier to get placed in one of these companies. Just make sure to check out that video. It'll break it down for you step by step throughout the entire process.